What is going on, everyone? This morning I am going to be reviewing the newly released giant mouse ACE REO in titanium. This is just their latest titanium release in their ACE production line. I've been super excited about it. Let me just go through the specs real quick before I go through anything else. You have an overall length of 7.94 inches. You have a blade length of 3.25 with the scales coming in at about 4.6. This one has CPM MagnaCut blade steel with a nice satin finish. Great ergonomics, just like the original. The only difference in design, at least with the construction of it, is instead of having the central body screw, they've made it a back spacer screw. I love that diamond cut pattern that they're calling it. Feels really good in hand, gives you some extra grip. Also, as usual, with the crown spine, they put the jimping up a little bit higher. Gives me a good sense of control with a knife, whether you're doing thumb push cuts or utilizing it for whatever projects you may have. It just feels really great. This one, actually I should say also the other major design change is this one is a frame lock. And I can tell you guys that even as a lefty, no issue with putting pressure on the frame lock. Super smooth, no issue at all. Feels really good. This one is actually only 0.3 ounces more. This one was 2.7 ounces, the original in my cart. This one is 3 ounces. I can barely feel the difference. And they did that by taking a lot of the weight out with this design on the outside of the scale, but also milling on the inside. As a matter of fact, that's also why I have the VORTEX here, which is currently my favorite driver. The bearing system on this is incredible. Because I just want to take this apart really quickly, because I think there's some surprises in here from what I saw just shining the light in there. So let me just take this pivot out, take out the back spacer screw here, and finally the clip screw. I should also mention that this does come with a reversible wire clip. I just had another giant mouse clip around and I put it on there because I thought it would look great, and I think it does. But let me just pull this apart real quick, if it will let me. There we go. So yeah, you've got a great deal of milling on the outside here, and then they've taken out a great deal of weight. This is a lot of weight taken out. This is pretty deep, leaving a pretty thin scale, which is contributing a great deal to the overall lightweight of the knife. I knew it. See, the other thing too is they're using the newer ball bearings, so they're not sort of encased. It's just a flat disc, sort of like skiff bearings. Oop, I didn't mean to drop that, obviously. The other thing too is I noticed, yeah, there's a imprint here, L8K, made in Italy, giant mouse. Very cool. But I just wanted to show you guys the inside, because I know that when I get a new knife, I also am very curious to see if anything's changed on the inside, if there's any imprints or stamps. So let me put this back together real quick. Put the other bearing in here. That's sitting right? Yeah, okay. All right, let me just put the collar back in. The pivot screw. If you guys ever get a chance to get your hands on one of these VORTEX drivers, they are incredible to use. They make things so much easier. I know that they sold out pretty quickly, and I know it's irritating. But again, if you do get a chance, you should grab one. They are very smooth and fun to use. All right. Last but not least, put the pivot screw back in. All right, there we go. Make sure it's centered. It is not even close to centered. There we go, nice and true. So I've only had this for a day. I have done some cut testing with it. There's no question the edge geometry is made to make this a very slicey knife, which makes sense. It's got this sleek overall design, which I've fallen in love with. It is definitely a cross between a gentleman's blade and a true EDC. Definitely a strong knife with a good lockup, about 35 or 40%, maybe even closer to 50%. So you're not going to have any issues. Super smooth. That was my fault. Super smooth. Again, like I said, there's no issue with me being a lefty and putting pressure on the lock bar, which is an incredible feature to this. I know that a lot of you righties won't care, but it just means it's an overall great construction. And it just looks and feels great. That diamond cut pattern really does provide for great grip. It's just a clean, classic design. I really do love the ergonomics of it. Even if I don't try to choke up and I'm holding it all the way back here, I can get a solid 4-finger grip, can still reach the jimping on the spine. It feels really good in hand. I do love the fact that this is another crown spine with the jimping up top. Just look at that design. It looks beautiful. No question about it that it's super smooth. And I've done some cut tests for you guys. So let's take a look at it in action, and I will be back in 1 second. And we are back. Again, this is the Giant Mouse ACE REO in titanium. This was the original micarta. This is the newly released version in titanium. As you guys, I'm sure, can tell in the video, it is a very sharp blade. It is super comfortable. Same ergonomics that you're going to have with the original. Maybe a little bit of an added grip with this pattern on the scales, at least for me anyway. It feels a little bit more comfortable. That and the only design changes are the fact that, number one, it is a frame lock. Number two, it does only have the back spacer body screw. But everything else is the same. Everything that you loved about the Rio, you're going to fall in love with this model as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. If anyone's still on the fence and making a decision on buying this one, I hope this was helpful for you. But as always, I really do appreciate you guys watching the videos. If you guys haven't already subscribed, please do so. Really will help me out. And thanks again. I'll talk to you guys soon.